Okay, this is what we got for you today, guys. These are the fenders for the Honda. The front fenders there. I've got 2 of them. I need to get them in primer. And so I need to prepare. These are brand new parts that I ordered on eBay. And we need to prepare them for a primer. So what we're going to end up doing is sanding them and then putting some primer on today. But I went ahead and had to wipe them down. They were really dirty because I set them outside during the storm, and of course dirt and everything got on them, so I was very careful. And I wiped them down with 50% water and 50% isopropyl alcohol. And then what we're going to do after that is we're going to use the old DA here, and we're going to sand it with our Mirlon pads from Mirka. These are basically just a Scotch-Brite pad that goes on the DA. They make quick work of this. I really like them. They basically, you can use both sides of this, but we will sand the entire surfaces on these 2 panels with this. And of course this is 360 grit, so it should give us a nice little scratch in there. But that's what we're going to do, and I'll get back to you guys when I'm in the next step. Okay guys, so I ran into a little problem here. I got some stuff that's embedded right there into the primer that they primed it with. So what I'm going to do to fix that is I'm going to go ahead and take some 320 grit sandpaper. I'm going to take this DA right here, and what I'm going to do is I'm just going to go ahead and feather that out to get that debris out of the paint. Now you're going to run into problems like this, and it's nothing to worry about. So once I get it with the 320 and I get it out of there, I'll go ahead and run it with the Scotch-Brite again. Okay, so I went ahead and took the 320 grit and I sanded out the little debris, and then I hit it with the Scotch-Brite to clean it up. Now that's why we use a direct to metal primer, because we went right to the metal on that, and then we went right to the metal right there. And that's why I use a urethane with DTM in it, direct to metal, because these little spots won't be a problem. If you sanded this whole thing down, it's better just to use an epoxy base. But little burn throughs, and I mean that's pretty much where I would call it. If I had a bigger area than that, you know, I would probably be like, okay, let me hit it with some self-etching primer or a epoxy, and I'd probably just use something out of a can. I wouldn't mix anything up. But if I had to do anything that was from here to here, and I went all the way to metal and I did a whole bunch of work, I'd just use epoxy. But we're ready for primer now, so I'll see you then. Okay guys, I got a question recently about how I clean my guns, and in between painting. Now I clean them differently. Now you can see this gun is quite dirty, so it's in need of a little bit better cleaning than I would typically do. Now this is the process that I do. I will disassemble it just to this point. I never take everything apart. I just take it down to this point, and I get the cap, the needle, and I'll carefully lower those down into the jar here, and I'll let them sit in there and soak for 15 or 20 minutes. And then on this needle right here, I'll go ahead and get some lacquer thinner and clean that off. But if you look up in here, you'll see That's why you have to clean deep every once in a while, because that's actual primer, and what'll happen is when we put the fresh primer in there, little pieces of that'll break off and end up in our finish. And then I'll clean up the gun, but I don't take it all apart and put it in an ultrasonic and all that stuff. Typically I just pour some lacquer thinner in here and run it through with pressure on it and clean it out in between painting. And I always leave lacquer in my guns. That way when you hit them, there'll be a little bit of lacquer left in there, so that stuff doesn't really have a chance to dry. But that's the question I got, and there's your answer. Okay, so I sprayed the fenders, and this is what I used. I used the Silco brand right here, 99 high prime, high solids primer. It'll do 5 to 1 and 3 to 1 ultra fast curing. And if y'all watch me spray, you'll see this gun, and y'all will see this is my favorite primer gun. I went ahead and cleaned it out, and after I did spray the primer. But the Silco brand primer, I mean, if you look at it, it's been on there for about maybe 10 minutes. And it lays pretty flat. It comes out real good. I'm really liking it. It's nice. I like the way it lays down. Of course, you know we're going to sand all this stuff anyway. But I went ahead and got these fenders primed for you guys. Those are the ones that are going to go on the Honda project. So. Yeah, no, and I got some some more updates for you guys in another video, but we'll save it for then. But this Astro 1.9 tip, awesome gun for primer. I love it. It sprays the heavier stuff pretty good. This primer, I'm loving it. It goes down like silk and lays like silk. $89, guys. 89 bucks. It's well worth the price, and it sands good too because I've already used it. But anyway, that's all I got for this video, guys.